All right. Despite the hate and other, um, you know, comments, copying the answers for the reading passage here, doing nothing but copying the answers. Okay, whatever, whatever. We get a lot of hate, and it's okay. It's a part of something someone does. When you don't have to exactly sit there and just talk about stuff that is not related to your actual life. These people are manipulative. But anyways, we're back again to another one. So test three, I guess. Reading passage one. The story of Silk. So here, the question here is as follows. The thing is that all the way how I'm actually doing, I'm not really gonna say that I'm much really of a professional person, but however, the way how I am approaching to these reading passages are pretty similar to one of the very popular examiners. I wouldn't say examiners, but a band nine achievers due to big sales. Credit goes to that guy, fantastic man, and he taught me a lot. But anyways, let's get into the passage. Anyways, so the thing is here is these questions they follow the order of the question. I mean, through the passage, and so does the true false monkey. All right, so let's get started. Around 3000 BC, according to legend, silkworm cocoon fell into emperor's wife's something. Okay, silk is the fun. So I'm just gonna find the specific line, and after finding the specific line, I'm gonna be focusing on the evidence. So So one account of the story goes that she was taking a walk in her husband's gardens. She discovered that silkworms were responsible for the destruction of several mulberry trees. She collected a number of cocoons and sat down to have a rest. It just so happened that while she was sipping some tea, one of the cocoons that she had collected landed in the hot tea. So fell into a hot tea. So that's a obvious one. Emperor's wife invented something to pull out silk fibers. All right, so there we go. I think I'm just going to highlight it. And I'm just going to highlight it over here. This part. I'm just going to take this and then give it a number one. Okay, so one of the cocoons that she had collected landed in the hot tea. This one as well. But instead, I'm gonna remove this one and give number one over here instead. All right. To unravel into a fine thread, Leitu found that she could um, win this thread out around her finger. Subsequently, she persuaded her husband to allow her to rear silkworms on a grove of mulberry trees. She also invented, devised a special reel to draw. So, special reel, like an Instagram reels, but and only something were allowed to produce silk. All right then. Strong enough to be woven into fabric, while it is known. Another one I'm just sorry, she also devised to and I'm gonna do a thread. I'm just gonna highlight that again and give it a number two. So actually what I can do here is just I'm just going to put a table. Uh Still, this table was thought by that great guy, Theo Bexels, and I love that guy. Words in the questions and words from the passage. Unfortunately, that guy's channels has been deleted as well. Nobody knows the reason why. Anyways, if you find, whoops, I'm just gonna similar words from the passage. Anyways, if you find that guy's channel, make sure to jump in and just watch how he does the walkthrough as well. Fantastic guy. So, anyways, once again, fell into fell into what was that? So we had a first one fell into is replaced as landed in the. Then she also devised is playing the role of so no, it was not devised. It's actually devised here, devised, and here it was invented. Instead, this word goes as invented. All right, now, so original silkworm farming was solely restricted to women, and that it was they who were responsible for the growing. So it was solely restricted to women. So it was only for women. Only women were allowed to make. Solely means only. So solely. So only is playing the role as solely. Gold was the most valuable material transported along the Silk Road. So I don't know about the Silk Road yet. Just I'm gonna give it. I'm just going to highlight it here. Then silk quickly grew into a symbol of status, and originally only royalty were entitled to have clothes made of silk. So we're allowed to wear silk. Okay, so it's royalty, I guess. Yeah. So now this is another one. Just gonna take that. It's number 3. So quickly grew into blah blah blah. Yeah, highlight that again. I'll give it a number 4. So the rules were gradually relaxed over the years until finally during the Qing Dynasty, 1644 and 1911 AD, even peasants, the lowest caste, were also entitled to wear silk. Sometime during the Han Dynasty, silk used as a form of status, I guess, because I'm not really guessing, but because it was written here as a grew quick. Silk grew quickly into a symbol of status, used as a form of grew quickly into form of status, used as a silk was so prized that it was also used as a unit of currency. Hold on. You also as a form of currency here, I guess, as a form of currency. Government officials were paid their salary. Okay. So hold on there, guys. A person is calling me. Have to call. But anyways, let's get back. So silk used a form of status. It was not used as a form of status. It was used instead as a form of currency. Then it was sometime. I mean, no. Silk was so prized that it was also used as a unit of, as a form of, So here, uh, as a form of was as a form was displaying as the role as used as a right. So used as a form of what unit. So it's as a form of used as a unit of currency. All right. So then, okay. So evidence found of something made from Silk Road. Sorry for the Silk Road. Silk Round. 168 AD. 168 AD. We have over here. So what was the one? So was also used. Another one. I'm gonna highlight this and give it a number 5. I'm gonna give it number 5. Government officials were paid their salary in silk, and farmers paid their taxes in grain and silk. So I think farmers' tax is considered part of silk. Silk used for many purposes. Silk was also used as a diplomatic gift by the emperor. Fishing lines, bowstrings, musical instruments, and paper were all made using silk. The earliest indication of silk paper being used was discovered in the tomb of a noble. So evidence found of something made from silk around something of a noble who is estimated to have died around 168 AD. Evidence found of a paper, right? So the earliest indication of silk paper being used was discovered in the evidence found of of paper, or is it a noble? Because it feels like it's the indication is the word of evidence. Or the earliest indication of silk paper being used was discovered in the tomb of a noble. So evidence found of something made from Silk Road. Oh my God. I just like silk around. Made from silk. Silk paper. Silk paper made from silk. Obviously paper, I guess. Maybe I kind of wanted to put it a noble as in grammatical terms. It's a very confusing mistake sometimes I make. So yeah, merchants use Silk Road to take silk westward and bring back something and precious metals. Demand okay, demand for exotic. So we forgot to highlight this part as well. So this one is number 6. There, whoops, I'm gonna highlight that. All right. Demand for this exotic fabric eventually created the lucrative trade route now known as the Silk Road, taking silk westward and bringing gold, silver, and wool to the east. So bringing back gold and precious materials. Precious materials are silver and wool. So 550 AD. So this one is another one. Actually, I'm just highlighting all of it, so it just doesn't make people confusing. Just read the whole evidence. I mean, they'll find the specific line and read the evidence. It was named the Silk Road after its most precious commodity. Most precious commodity, most valuable material, most valuable material. So it was named the Silk Road after its most precious commodity, which was considered to be be worth more than gold. It's so gold was not the most important one. It was other precious. It was something else. So its most precious commodity was worth more than gold. Here it says gold instead the most valuable. So the answer here is going to be false. Now, so the Silk Road stretched over 6,000 kilometers from eastern China to the Mediterranean Sea, following the Great Wall of China, climbing the Pamir mountain range, crossing modern day Afghanistan, going on to the Middle East. So 550 AD, hide silkworm eggs in canes and take them to Constantinople. Okay, we have not found that. Silk reaches the rest of the world. Most tradesmen only went along certain sections of the Silk Road. Okay, climbing pyramid, blah blah blah. So China to the Mediterranean Sea, following the Great Wall of China, climbing the Pamir mountain range, crossing modern-day Afghanistan, and going to the Middle East with a major trading market in Damascus. From there, the merchandise was shipped across the Mediterranean Sea. Few merchants traveled the entire route. So most tradesmen only went along certain sections of the Silk Road. So I guess here is kind of a little bit confusing for me. So tradesmen are like, obviously tradesmen is understanding. Okay, so what happened here? So from there, the merchandise was shipped. Tradesmen is playing the role as of merchants. So the Silk Road stretched over 6,000 kilometers from eastern China to the Mediterranean Sea, following the Great Wall of China, climbing the Pamir, blah blah blah. But the word here that here the word like went along certain sections like exact place, exact road. I guess that's how I understand. Traveled the entire route. Goods were handled mostly by a series of. This doesn't play a role as far as I can understand. The entire road. Few merchants traveled the entire road. I mean entire route. So here this one got to be true. Uh, the Byzantines spread the practice of silk production across the West. So this one is the answer, I guess. That has to be the correct option. Certain so here certain sections, I think uh where is it? Certain sections is like entire route. Uh, so most valuable material is most okay, then it's saying here where's the answer for number where did we get it? Worth more than gold. This one was another one, so this was number 10. So I'm gonna take that. Was number 10. So most valuable material goes into most valuable material is written as most precious commodity. It's the most precious commodity, but however, and then it says blah blah blah, worth more than gold. That's what does it say. So now, few merchants traveled the entire route. So this one is going to be number 11. So you can see that true, false, not given questions are there coming in order. So 10 here, 11 here, then 12, 13. It has to be in the lower part of the passage. With the mulberry silkworm being native to China, the country was the world's sole producer of silk for many hundreds of years. The secret of silk making eventually reaches the rest of the world. So reaches the rest of the world means it's something right here. 550 AD, we skipped that. 550 AD, however, here, something here hide silkworm eggs in canes and take them into Constantinople. So, all right, reaches the rest of the world via Byzantine Empire, which ruled over the Mediterranean region of Southern Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East during the period 330 and 1453 AD. According to another legend, monks working for the Byzantine Empire smuggled silkworm eggs to Constantinople. So they smuggling means hide. Uh, it's like if you have if you have heard from the very news, smuggling drugs means they are hiding drugs. Okay, now smuggling drugs, hiding drugs. So Byzantine spread over the nope. Now it was the monks smuggle. Okay, Silk Road production across Middle East and Europe. So Middle East and Europe. Okay, something and other man-made fibers caused decline in silk production. 20th 20th century. So monks concealed inside hollow bamboo walking clays. The Byzantine were as secretive as the Chinese, however, and for many centuries the weaving and trading of silk fabric was a strict imperial monopoly. Then in the seventh century, the Arabs conquered Persia, capturing their magnificent skills in the process. Silk production thus spread through Africa, Sicily, and Spain as the Arabs swept through these lands. Andalusia in southern Spain was Europe's main silk producing center in the 10th century. By the 13th century, however, Italy had become Europe's leader in silk production and then export. Byzantine spread the silk production. Silk production thus spread. So here is saying, then in the 7th century, the Arabs conquered Persia, capturing their magnificent skills in the process. Then silk production, therefore, spread through Africa. So Byzantines, it was not the Byzantine, but Arabs. So the end. So it's going to be false. Silk yarn makes up the majority of silk currently exported from China. Okay, the 19th century and industrialization saw the downfall of the European silk industry. So downfall, downfall means decline, downfall. So all right, so something and other man-made fibers. Then in the 19th century and industrialization, so downfall of the European silk industry. So cheaper Japanese silk trade, in which was greatly facilitated by the opening of the Suez Canal, was one of the most factors driving the trend. So okay, so it was the cheaper Japanese silk. Then in the 20th century, new man-made fibers such as nylon started to be used in what had traditionally been silk products such as stockings and parachutes. So nylon and other man-made fibers caused decline. So nylon, other man-made fibers. So nylon and other man-made fibers are like stockings and parachutes, I guess. Silk yarn makes up. Okay. The world wars, which interrupted the supply of raw material from Japan, also stifled the European silk industry. After the Second World War, Japan's silk production was restored with improved production and the quality of raw silk. Japan was to remain the world's biggest producer of raw silk and practically the only major exporter of raw silk until the 1970s. However, in more recent decades, China has gradually recaptured its position as the world's biggest producer and exporter of raw silk and yarn. Okay, so here it's another answer for us, number 13. However, the problem here lies on the different part. Silk yarn makes up the majority of silk currently exported from China. It's both silk and yarn. However, it does not really necessarily say whether or not any part of them is the makes up the majority of silk. So, recapture its position. So, China is the world's biggest producer and exporter of raw silk. Silk yarn makes up the majority of silk. No, it's not given. It does not necessarily say it does not necessarily say whether silk yarn makes up the majority of the silk. So if we check from the Google, so makes up meaning if we ask the meaning for it, so makes up pretty much means make something up means to invent something such as an excuse or a story, often in order to deceive. No, to prepare or arrange something by putting but different things together, to produce or prepare something from cloth. If you make a page, to make an amount of something complete or correct. Make up the difference, to reduce or replace something, to put into something, make up something, to form a particular thing, amount or number as a whole, to forgive someone. Okay, there are lots of these. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much makeups. Makes up means kind of is consistent consists of or something similar to that. It's really hard to explain. But yeah. So I forgot to highlight this one. This one is the answer for number 12. And so most tradesmen went along, blah, blah, blah. I think this one is another one. Where did I highlight number 10? Number 10. I mean, this is 11. Where's 12? Yeah, 12. And then 13. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go, guys. We finished the reading passage one. The next video is going to be about reading passage two. I'm not really sure about what. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. And still, if you have any questions, hateful comments, make sure to comment down below.